Hey, I'm Red, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I've not actually seen this done for Star Citizen before, I could be wrong, but we're going to do a armor tier list. So there's so much armor in Star Citizen, and there's only more getting added every day. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over a ton of armor that's in Star Citizen and rank it from S being the best, all the way down to F being the worst. Now, I'm only really doing armor sets that are a full set, so if there's like one random helmet that looks really good with something else, that's awesome, but for this, I'm just going to prioritize actual sets of armor. But let me know if you want to see like customized sets of like the best things put together in kind of a mix, and maybe I'll do a video on that. But with all that out of the way, it's time to start off with our first piece of armor. And in this case, we're specifically looking at the Antium Moss camo set. It's a super cool looking patchy green camo with a little bit of red and a little bit of silver. It looks really nice. I'm not a huge fan of the overall shape of the armor. I love the camouflage, I love the little bits of moly and the design parts of the helmet, but I'm not a huge fan of how bulky it is overall. It looks very Juggernaut from GTA 5. So the Antium Moss camo is going to get a spot in the A tier. It's not the best of the best, but it's pretty damn good. The next armor on the list is super old. I don't know if it's been in forever, but it's definitely been in for a very long time. It is the PAB in the tan Hursten security set. It's a full light set of armor. It's like a yellowish kind of tan, which goes along with all the Hursten security armor sets. And it's armor. I mean, it is armor for sure. It's definitely not pretty. It doesn't really feel that unique. It doesn't seem like it really works well with itself. So I don't like it, and the color's pretty ugly as well. So the Hursten Security Light Armor is definitely not going to be super high on the list. In this case, it's going to get a spot over here in the D tier. Up next, we're going to go for the ORC, or the ORC Mark Five in the Seagrass Blue, which is a medium set of armor. Now, once again, it's not a terrible set of armor. It is medium, so it's a lot better than the light armor, and looks a little bit better as well, of course. The color definitely doesn't do it justice, and I think the arm armor is really lacking compared to like the legs and the core. They seem really protective and really well designed, and then the arms, it's kind of like the gauntlets are really good, and then everything up there is just missing. Like, it really doesn't suit the rest of the armor. I personally don't like how the helmet looks either. It looks kind of dorky, a bit like the Avetyan one that we just looked at, and helmets are kind of a big deal in this game. In this case, we are specifically looking at the blue one, or the Seagrass Blue, and it is just not the best color. Maybe if it was all black, maybe if it was all red, or a nicer blue, it'd be higher, maybe even up into the C or the B if you mix it around, but in this case, in this color, it's going to be in the F tier. Now we're going to go from a terrible color to one of the best in the world. There's definitely no bias here because we're going for the Ardan Red Alert light armor. I feel like this armor set just looks really good no matter what color scheme it is. I wish it wasn't light armor, I wish it was at least medium so I could use it more often, but it seems really well designed. There seems like a lot of thought has been put into it. It's really unique compared to a lot of other armor sets. It all kind of just works together really well. And it's actually one of my favorite helmets. Again, I wish that it wasn't a light helmet, because I always run either heavy or medium depending on what I'm doing. Until they bring armor limits into the game for when you're flying, I'm gonna keep running heavy, so it is gonna get a spot up in the B tier. From black camo and red, we're gonna go the complete opposite and go with a super white flight suit here. Here we have the Origin Racing Suit. Now this isn't even light armor, this is actually a flight suit, so it provides very, very minimal armor protection, even less than the light armor does, making it really unique. I don't love the helmets, I might even hate the helmets, but the flight suits themselves look really cool, especially with a better design. I feel like the Origin one, it makes sense for Origin, but it is really boring. Like, there's not a lot going on, the blue lines don't really go anywhere, so it does lose some points there. Maybe if the visors were tinted, they'd look really cool, but the way it is, I'm not a huge fan. It's definitely above some of the other stuff we have on this list, so it's not going to be too far down, but for now it is going to be in the C tier. Onto another really unique set of armor that's been in the game for a while, but it's still pretty new. We have the Zanthul Ascension armor. At least at the time of recording, it's classified as a flight suit, so it does very, very minimal protection, but it does look super cool. It's really unique. There's only a couple other options. I think there's a red one and maybe a yellow one, but this one's got that kind of rusty chrome with a bit of copper built into it, and it all just kind of works well together. Even though it's weirdly a flight suit, it's still going to get a good position, and it's actually going to go into the A tier. This one's a little bit different because it's actually part of a pack that you could get on the pledge store a few months ago. And this is the Ready for Anything Courier armor set. I think it's fair to say I'm definitely not a fan. I think the flight suit's ugly. I think the armor is ugly. It looks like you're wearing suspenders. The like mix of white and grey and blue, it just, for me it really doesn't look very nice. And the boots are terrible. It could probably squeeze itself up into the D tier if it wasn't for its terrible helmet. I mean, it is horrendous. It looks like you're wearing a fishbowl on your head. It squeezes everything in. I mean, it looks really bad. But in this case, it is going to be our first F tier. Now I'm going to spoil this next one a little bit because we're going to go straight from the F tier all the way up to the S tier. It's time for the legendary Manticor Dust Devil Armor Legendary set. This is a full heavy set that you can't buy anywhere. You actually have to go out and find it yourself. You have to take out the guy wearing it, you have to take it off his body, and you have to get out of there alive to keep it. It's a really cool armor set. It's really unique. It's the only one that looks anything like this at the moment. There's a bunch of other benefits. You can carry more stuff, carry more ammo, more magazines, that kind of stuff. It does have a cape too, which I don't know if anything else has a cape. Not a huge fan of capes, but it's cool. It stands out, that's for sure. The helmet is especially awesome. I love the entire design of the helmet, even if I'm not a huge fan of the belt. It is such a cool armor set, and the fact that you can't buy it gives it some bonus points there. Like I said, I already spoiled it. It's going straight to the S tier for multiple reasons. Another super old set of armor that you can buy pretty much anywhere is the Novacov Exploration Suit. This is a heavy armor set, and it's actually very different to the others because instead of being multiple pieces of armor that you put on top of a flight suit, this one is actually the base flight suit itself, and it's heavy. You can kind of tell it's got that older design to it. The legs kind of poke out, the shoulders kind of poke out. I don't know if it's more the armor or just the way it sits on the player, but it looks really odd and kind of just bulky in the worst ways. Again, I think the helmet looks so much better when it has a tinted visor. I just think you look like a little egg in a fishbowl when you wear some of these helmets. And the color, again, if it was like a racing yellow or a bright orange, I think it would look really nice. This kind of like muted yellow isn't a huge thing for me, so just based on the way the armor sits, the color, the look, I think maybe if they update it, it could be really cool, but at least how it is now in this color and this configuration, it's actually going to go down to the F tier. It's time for a very unique set of armor. We have the Avis Sunchaser medium armor set. This is a different one. It sure stands out in all of the worst ways, I guess. There's a couple cool things. I mean, the shoes glow. That's cool if you're going to a club in space, I guess. But at the same time, unless you are trying to be spotted, this armor is so bright. Multiple parts of this armor set glow in the dark or even have LEDs. And you can see people from hundreds of meters away. I mean, it is so bright. And I really just don't like the color scheme. The white isn't just a white, it's kind of like a pearlescent kind of pinkish white, and I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it, to be honest. I can't completely throw it under the bus because I'm sure some people like white and purple, but the armor itself is okay. The color scheme is terrible, but it's going to get its spot in the D tier. Now it's time for a really cool set. It's the Omni Sapphire Armored Flight Suit. It's obviously not light, it's flight level armor. It's a really cool looking and unique set of armor. It's part of the Squadron 42 stuff. It's basically a flight suit with knee protection, shoulder protection, chest protection, and a completely unique helmet and overall design. It is the only thing in game that looks like this right now, so you gotta give it points for being unique. I don't mind the green, grey, and kind of tan color scheme. It is kind of like a military or naval setup. But I have to say again, the helmet ruins it for me. And not just the fact that it's not tinted, I just don't like any part of the helmet. I don't think it matches the overall aesthetic of the armor. I don't think it matches the design of it. I don't know if two different people made it, but I just really don't think it suits, and I don't like it. It's not going to go too far down just because the helmet sucks, but it is going to be at the top of the B tier. And we're going to add another one to the B tier here. I'm going to spoil it. We're going with another Avis armor set here. So just like the purple and white one, but this one's the Triple C, and it's a red, white, grey and black mix. It's a really cool looking medium set of armor. It's super unique, obviously. I think the overall design is pretty cool. I think, honestly, the helmet ruins it for me. I don't know if it's just the fact that it's meant to look like a bird, to be that kind of bird species that it's based on. I'm just not really playing Star Citizen to be a bird furry. Was that a feathery? Is that a thing? I don't know. The helmet itself puts me off the armor set. I think there's a little bit too much chrome and silver as well. If it was made to be black or really dark grey, I think that'd look even better. But yeah, the helmet for me is just not a vibe. And so it's not going to get punished too hard, but it is going to be down at the bottom of the B tier. And now for a set of armor worn by our enemies, it's the Ardan Ninetailes armor. Now this one's a little bit different because technically not every single piece is part of the Ardan set, but it is the specific set of armor that they wear with the Ardan helmet and the Ardan chest. Pretty much all of the AIs, especially the hostile ones, run a very mixed set of armors. It'll all be painted or dyed the same, with the same logos and that kind of stuff, but it will be like a different set of legs than the arms or the chest. Maybe if it was a full set exactly how it should be, it would get higher points, but at this stage, I'm not a huge fan of it. It certainly won't be at the bottom because it's still a unique set of armor, but it is going to be at the bottom of the C tier. I think it's time for another super bright set of armor, so we're going to go with the Murray Cup Racing Flight Suit. It's a really unique design with a high-vis yellow and a darkish blue. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the helmet visor being clear. I think it would look way better if it was black or even yellow or some kind of mix. It is super unique, and I was actually going to put it higher, but while I'm looking at it right now, it kind of gives me the vibe that it's like a really high pair of pants, so I'm actually going to lower it by 1. It was going to be in the A tier. I'm actually going to drop it down to the B tier. Once again, a very unique set of armor. It definitely stands out. You look kind of like the Michelin Man, but in a black variant. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks like kind of modern day, or maybe like 10-year ago astronauts. I definitely don't personally run it. It's way too big, and I feel like you're giving yourself a much bigger hitbox or visibility to yourself. But I do think it looks cool, and I think it's kind of unique. Unlike the other bulky ones, I do think it kind of flows well, like the arms stay thick the whole time. It doesn't just have big shoulders and small wrists and that kind of stuff. So I think it does actually flow quite well. So believe it or not, it is going to get a spot up here in the A tier. There's a lot more armor to go through, but I obviously couldn't put all of it in one video. Let me know if you want to see more or what armor you personally run in Star Citizen. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.